All right, what is going on, everybody? Isaac Fleischer here, and welcome to another iHoopsFL interview. Now, before we begin, make sure you guys give me a follow on Instagram at iHoopsFL. I post all these interviews, all the best clips. I'm sure if you guys are following me, I recently posted a couple days ago an interview with Mikey Williams. If you don't know who that is, and you know who I am, there's something wrong with you. Mikey Williams, number 3 player, class 2023, according to ESPN. Recently posted an interview with him that I got at the Holiday Hoops Giving event. So definitely, make sure you guys give me a follow on Instagram at iHoopsFL. And also, if you guys want to see any of the other work that I've done around the world of basketball, I also post all the articles I've written for a company down here in South Florida on my Twitter at iHoopsRecruits. So again, iHoopsFL for interview stuff, Twitter at iHoopsRecruits for articles and just articles for now. Not really trying to get into recruitment info or anything crazy like that, but definitely articles, maybe some clips, stuff about games I go to, like my takeaways about players. That'll be on my Twitter, iHoopsRecruits. But anyways, let me bring on our guest right now. What's going on, my guy? How are you?
Good, bro. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well, man. Thanks for asking. What's it feel like the grind session and everything like that? Like, do you guys have any games this week, or are you kind of done with like a little bit of a break? What's going on with that?
Yeah. So we before Thanksgiving break, we came back. We went 5-0. We had a pretty successful grind session, and actually, I don't know when the next one is. I know we might be going to a tournament in Miami this month before Christmas break, but that's all I know for right now. I don't even know if that's the grind session.
Yeah. What tournament are you talking about in Miami?
The director of our program, which was like one of my trainers who helped me out along, one of my trainers, and he called me up and he was like, "You trying to go to a tournament in Miami or Tennessee this month?"
Miami.
I was like,
Miami's a move. Miami's a move.
Really? What I said, I was like, wherever's the best comp. But like he was like, I'm trying to go to Miami because that's
No.
Miami, And I was like,
give me his number. I'll make sure he goes to Miami. Bro, that'd be pretty. I don't know what's going on in Miami.
I don't know either.
I don't think there's anything going on here, but unless you meant like Milwaukee or Montana or something else with an M. Like I don't know what's going on in Miami, but
I'm gonna ask him again though. So I'm trying to.
Yeah. I'll make sure. Like obviously, I can't pack a gym, but bro, I'll try to hype the game up so much if it's in Miami. I'm sure. Yeah, I don't know who. Like the competition in Miami is bad. Like everyone left. It's not everyone like that was gonna be good for Miami went to. Actually, we didn't really have too many good players, but anyone that was gonna be good in the Miami area went to either West Oaks or Montverde. Miami, that'd be crazy. I don't know where you guys are playing or what you're playing in or who you'll be playing, but that would definitely be pretty crazy for sure. And you said you guys went 5-0 in the grind session.
Yeah, we went 5-0. Yeah, 5-0.
And so, are you guys like the number 1 team then in the grind session, or what? Like, what are the rankings looking like?
The rankings, they just came out. That was our first grind session. I think a couple of the other teams, they've been to like 2 or 3 sessions now. But that was our first. We just got ranked in the top 5 with Prolifics in there. AZ Compass is in there. I think we're the number 1 team. So next grind session, we're going to continue to show that.
And I know they call it the grind session, but I didn't realize, because I know they're doing the whole bubble thing, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But is it kind of always like that with the bubble, where it's like, you kind of have a normal-ish season, and then you go and play like for a week against like all the grind session teams? Is that like, has it always been like that?
I don't know. I think so. I think that was kind of how they did it. I don't know if it was a bubble. I think the whole bubble thing kind of came up with Corona because they wanted people to keep them in, like, not letting them go out as much so that they don't get the virus, right? But I think that like last year, it was just like a regular like tournament where all the teams would come in and they just play.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting, because I thought that how it worked, obviously maybe should have known from the prolific prep, overtime thing, but I thought like how it worked was they just played the grind session teams the whole year. I didn't think it was where they kind of have a schedule. Like I know West Oaks plays in just a normal high school basketball league thing, but then they played their grind session teams too, in the bubble and everything like that. But yeah, that's actually that's pretty cool to know. And speaking of the grind session, you were named the grind session week 4 player of the week. So can you talk about your performance?
it was actually kind of interesting because like my second game I had like I thought I could have played, like I didn't play that well. My shot was real off. Um, and me and my dad, we found a gym. We were in the gym all night and all morning, and after that, like, kind of got the groove back and started performing the way I should have been. And I was awarded grind session player of the week. But as long as we won, that's really all that matters. Like those little things don't really matter as much. I'm trying to win this thing, and anything I can do to help, I'll do that.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, winning the grind session, that's super hard. Even Perfect Prep, who got tons of hype last year, they almost didn't win it. They lost their fair share of games.
Hmm.
What sorts of challenges are you expecting? If you guys happen to make it all the way or really far in the grind session.
Um, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of challenges. A lot of really good teams in there. Uh, But we built a culture at SCA where like no matter what happens, no matter what type of hardship we go through, we're gonna come together. We're gonna figure out what's wrong, and we're gonna try to better the situation in order to help us win ultimately. So I think we're ready for any type of challenge that comes with us because I know there's gonna be some.
And just what has it been like playing on the grind session and playing for Southern California Academy?
Um, I mean, before I heard like really good things about the grind session, especially since like it's the only thing on right now on the West Coast because California is totally shut down. So everyone's hopping on prep teams. So the comp's great. Like it's probably some of the best comp you're gonna get in the country. So I just want to show like ever since Corona started, I've been working my ass off, and I just want to show everyone what like I've become now and this new player that I am, and show how good I am. So.
And I actually heard this is an off topic away from basketball question, but I heard so what do you mean like California shut down? What like can is that like sorry is like nothing open there? What's shut down? That's
Oh,
someone told me, and I was like, well, because I know there's people there obviously like living their lives. Like, it doesn't look like they're like everything's shut down over there. Can you kind of talk about like why they're saying it's shut down? What shut down?
so we're pretty much still in quarantine. Like you can't eat in restaurants. They actually just shut outdoor dining for restaurants. Gyms are supposed to be still closed. Like gyms aren't even supposed to be open. But like we're gonna people players are gonna find a way to work out. Uh, yeah, we're still like the restrictions are pretty heavy over here, and we're just trying to figure it out and keep living.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're doing the right thing. Like even here, I feel like it's crazy over here, especially actually, in Georgia, especially. I mean that
Hmm.
place. I don't know. And this player told me, like, I'm sure you've seen the videos, from Hoops Giving or from anything in Georgia for the whole summer. Like,
Uh-huh.
they just packed that gym in. And I asked him,
Yeah, man. Like,
I told him, I said, like, how is it? Like, how everything's so packed and like I'm so surprised. And he said, well, actually, I think Georgia has like the lowest cases in the United States. And I'm like, there's just no way because.
like I saw like especially like all like the new like basketball videos. They're all from like Texas, Georgia, like Florida, and like it sucks because like there is no gonna we don't think there's gonna be a high school season in California.
Well, luckily you're in the grind session, so
Yeah, we're in the grind session,
you're
so
also getting
like it's
stuff
all good
too.
now. Yeah, so hopefully this thing gets better.
Yeah, but luckily, as long as the grind session continues, which I'm assuming, because that's kind of like a league, like the high school stuff. I feel like it's more difficult because it's more like I guess that maybe not dealing with a lot more teams, but
Hmm.
it's more like I guess different types of people in a way. Like some
Yeah, I
schools.
think I think you're dealing with more like government people, like
Oh yeah,
schools.
yeah, that's
You
why. So
know,
it's more like a government.
yeah,
It's not more like the grind session is not.
it's
You know,
primarily basketball.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So that should hopefully happen. I mean, that's definitely getting tons of exposure as well. I mean, it's the grind session, probably the number one league in the United States.
Yeah,
Uh,
for sure.
so yeah, it's just yeah. I almost feel like it's like an NBA thing because it's a national. No, it's like an international. Isn't there a team from Canada too,
Uh,
or like I know there's one
I don't
foreign
know.
team.
There
I know.
might be. I don't know honestly. I know it's national for sure.
Yeah, actually, yeah, I'm pretty sure there is a foreign team, but yeah, like it's a national thing. It's almost like if you really think about it, it's kind of like the most thing you get to like I guess pre-college or pre-NBA for like the
Mhm.
youth. Besides maybe the junior NBA, like the grind sessions. I mean, you guys are traveling, playing in a bubble, like playing guys all across the nation. It really is the best basketball out there.
Yeah, for sure. And like it's preparing all of us for that next level. So we
And
love
speaking of
it.
the next level, oh, so sorry, we're gonna say something.
No, I said I'm just loving it there.
Yeah, it definitely is pretty awesome. I'm hoping to see if West Oaks does come down to Miami. I think it'll be in January. I'm hoping to check them out. That was my first grind session team I ever saw. But
Hmm.
you mentioned the next level, the NBA, which is the next level. They have their own bubble. The grind session, they have the grind session bubble. So what is the grind session bubble? What's it been like, and is it at all similar to the NBA bubble?
Um, yeah, I would say so. We got there. We had to quarantine in our rooms for the first 3 days. But the grind session, it was pretty much we go to practice, we go to our hotel, we get something to eat, and we go to games. Like it was pretty like restrictive, and like I totally get that. But I think it's kind of close to the NBA. It wasn't like a huge campus where
Yeah.
like the facility and the rooms are in like one place, but it was something like that.
So like was the whole hotel? Was it all grind session teams and players or?
Yeah, the all teams were in the same hotel. And it was kind of crazy because some of the teams got corona and like they're in the same hotel, so we start freaking out like they touching stuff and things. So it's all good, but it worked out in the end.
And I mean, one of the bigger takeaways from the NBA bubble was like how the opponents, they see each other. Like you even see in the vlogs, like they're all hanging out. Like I think I remember,
Hmm.
it was like the 76ers, like from the Matisse style of things. It's like them hanging out with the Boban. And then I think maybe like Russell Westbrook came or something like that. Like they
Yeah.
were all hanging out. Like, it's nothing. Not like, they're like coming for heads, like an hour earlier. So can you talk about that a little bit more? Like when you're seeing guys on opposing teams, if it even is like that, like what those experiences are like.
Yeah, I had one like that. I kind of knew some of the guys from the other team a little bit, but we played this team from New York, Our Savior, Lutheran, right? And it was a tough game. Like we only won by one, and like as soon as we got back to the hotel, they were all in the lobby. Their coach was talking to them about the game. So it was just like kind of weird, but yeah, yeah,
And so, do you guys kind of walk by, like put your head down, and I guess just hope they didn't see you or anything like that?
yeah. We just went like you go on your phone, just walk by, go to your room, mind your own business.
Yeah. And I know, I think in the NBA bubble too. I think they only have to quarantine the room for 2 days.
Hmm.
But you said three, so you were locked up in a hotel room for 3 days.
Yeah, we weren't allowed to leave the hotel for 3 days. I don't really know what that does, but that was the rules. So
Yeah, I think it's because like because I'm assuming like, wouldn't you test yourself like during those 3 days or something like that?
yeah, so after the 3 days, yeah, after the 3 days, we all got tested, and we all tested negative. So
Yeah, it's kind of to like contain the virus because let's say maybe one of you guys was positive, then like keep them in the room, like
yeah.
whatever. But when you were were you with like your teammates, and if so, like I'm assuming your hotel room wasn't that big. Like was that at all a struggle, or were you ever feeling cause 3 days? That's kind of a long time in one room.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. We had like our company. Someone bought a PS4, so it went by fast. I think.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like if I happen to be trapped in my house or my room, I have no video games. Oh wait, sorry, somehow on my phone. Uh, hold on one second. I have no clue what to
It's all
do.
good. It's all good.
All right, yeah, I think it was like a call from like a school. I don't know if you get those, but like sometimes like the schools here, like they sound like a call like everybody.
Yeah, I get those.
I'm assuming it's one of those, but yeah, like, I have no video games. So if I was trapped in my room, and I don't even have like a TV in my room too. So
Uh,
if I was trapped in my room, man, I would
Imagine how many interviews you could knock out, though.
well, it's not really about the time. It's more about getting the people. So I have to, but yeah, I could maybe do like a few, but even that, like the light I have is so like there's this like big light right in front of me right now. I like it's a little bit painful, but yeah, I could definitely like if I had like a ton of people that would like answer my DMs, then I could definitely do like a lot of interviews. I could do a lot of interviews for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even think of I didn't think of doing that. And again, you went 5-0 in the grind session. I mean, even you you were the player of the week and everything like that, but just for your team overall, how are you guys able to be so successful?
I think it starts in practice. Coach Julius, and all the coaches there and all the players, we really honed in on making practice really competitive and really building camaraderie through like our competitiveness in practice. And we did that for like a good cool month. After the border league where we didn't do as well as we wanted to, we really got competitive in practice and we got so much better because of it. And it showed in the grind session when we were able to improve ourselves, I think.
Yeah, I completely forgot you went to the border league. Were you what like thing were you in? What whatever?
We were in the highest prep division. So we played Hillcrest and Compass and them. And um, we didn't do as well as we wanted to. We didn't do bad, but it was kind of a wake up call for all of us, like I said. And that week we got back, we really like picked it up, and that's why we were able to do so much better in the grind session.
And I'm sure your competition like throughout your life hasn't been terrible, but I know this is your first year with the grind session team. I'm pretty
Mm-hmm.
sure, and it wasn't like this last year. So how have you been able to be successful in individually playing? I'm not gonna like no hate to whatever you're playing on before, but I mean not now you're really playing like the top competition. Besides, I guess playing EYBL, which you've also done as well. But just how
Yeah.
have you been able to be so successful as an individual? Because this is really probably a big step for you.
Um, it's all hard work. Like I know like that's probably the same answer they get, but me, my trainer Dash Athletics, like we've been going at it for 4 years now, and especially in this summer, like we're not going 3 times a day, like lifting and getting shots up and working on studying the film. Like I've worked really hard, man, and it's me getting like some of these awards and like the colleges, it feels good because it shows that all this work is like paying off. But it's all in the work.
For sure. And me personally, like I want to be a coach, so I don't really know how to like break down, or I guess I could kind of break down film and all that stuff,
Uh
but
huh.
I feel like like I could tell a person what to do, but I can't put myself in a player's shoes where if a coach is telling me like, hey, maybe like get down lower, like or dribble the ball like just a little bit,
Uh huh.
more I guess not like above your knee or something like that, or try this move here or like do. I feel like I can't put myself in a player's shoes and be able to like do that in a game.
Uh
I
huh.
kind of like watching from a video and then like doing like how are you able to do that? Because you said watching film, like how are you able to like how can that benefit you? And how are you able to apply what you learned from watching film in
So,
a
first of all, it wasn't like I would watch film with my trainer Dash,
yeah.
and he knows the game better than anyone I've ever met in my life. So my knowledge comes from him and everything he's taught me, plus everything that I know. But I'm still young. I don't know everything, but he taught me everything, like all the pick and roll reads, just like simple things like how to get your feet set for a jump shot. So and the more and more you study, the more knowledgeable you get. So if you want to be a coach, like you got to put the time in because it's not easy to really understand film and understand reads. But if you put the time in, it gets easier.
and you're able to pick that up from like watching a video because even for school too, like my best way to learn is not by watching a video or like listening to something. Like I can't if I do listen to something, I have to then do it after. Like I want to make sure I know what I'm doing. Like is that what you guys would do? Because if I just watched a video on how to like read a screen or how to set a certain screen or like do something like that, and then just kind of went home
Hmm.
and kind of called it a day, like I don't think I'd be able to like maybe replicate. Like I mean, like another refresher. But if I kind of watched it and then like did it right after, it's almost like applying the knowledge. So how like is that what you guys did? Where you watch like a
No,
clip and kind of do it
you're
right after?
exactly right. So when we watch something, the next day we'll work on that exact same thing. So, for example, like last week, we watched John Stockton and Karl Malone pick and rolls, and the next morning we're up at 6 a.m. working on that all the reads that we saw in the video. So you're exactly right. Like you can't just watch it and just like not apply it. You have stuff to practice it, and because like you have to see it like in your perspective and like actually feel what's going on. So yeah, I totally agree with you.
Yeah, definitely. Because I mean, I even feel like when you kind of, and especially 6 in the morning, like I mean, this is gonna make me look bad. Like I was kind of falling asleep in class this morning. I probably got a little more sleep than you got that night. When you
Uh-huh.
wake up at 6 in the morning, having like remember that. I mean, like, does it take you like a few tries to really kind of remember, like, oh yeah, we did this yesterday, or
Um, I don't think I like think about it like that. Like I don't think like I did it in a certain day. Like once I do it, like I kind of like just know like what I'm doing. So I work out so much that like I can't pinpoint what I do each day. Like I
well,
can't.
it's not like, it's more like, oh yeah, I remember seeing this like on film.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
But
yeah,
like kind of like an aha moment where like maybe you're confused and you're like, oh yeah, like for my history class, the one that I was like dozing off in, like because we have to read the book and like answer questions on the book, and the
uh-huh.
next day in class he'll lecture us, and then I always like, oh yeah, like I remember reading this, so that's
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Yeah. So
that's kind of what I was going for.
it's kind of like it's why I said you have to practice it because then when you go into the games, like let's say you're coming off a screen, like if you see the defender do this, because you practice it, you have to make a certain read. So I just think like if that's why you have to practice it and not just watch the film because you have to know how it feels so you know when to do certain things. You know what I'm saying?
And in basketball, like obviously you got to have the basketball knowledge. Like that's important. A lot of players are special and probably
Uh-huh.
ranked a lot higher than most just because they understand the game of basketball.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like when you're playing basketball, you like as much as you need to think. At the same time, like you can't think that much. So how do you kind of like do that? Like, is it just because so much repetition when you're training that it becomes natural, or, like
Yeah. It's like I said, like the more you practice things, the more like you understand it, the more like second nature it becomes. Because in the game, like especially like at the higher levels, it's like because you're moving fast,
yeah.
and as a point guard, you have to know like 2 3 steps ahead of everyone else on the court. So that's how well you have to know the game. That's how much you have to work on your craft, so that you can perform like that and understand what's going on.
And I'm assuming, like, are you able to just like when you go in game? Because, like, I mean, you said it pretty perfectly. Like, in games is so different from
Yeah,
doing
it's
trainer. Like, so is it just from like, do you just do that much repetition where when you go in game, you kind of are able to remember it and like think of it? Is this all from all that repetition?
well, like yes, and when I do train, we don't just like do it with like no one there. We'll set up 2 on 2s. We'll set up 1 on 1s. Like we'll do different things so that we're doing it with defense in my workouts or in practice with SCA, so that in the game it doesn't feel as foreign.
Yeah, because I know. So I guess your trainer, because some trainers, like some are, I guess we could say, like some are cone guys, some
Oh yeah, man.
use all the fancy equipment, like then some like using like real human bodies. Like is he a
Uh-huh.
human body guy?
Yeah, I mean, yes, yeah. We don't do like all the little cone stuff. Like the game's really not that complicated. Like Clay Thompson makes a living off just catch and shoots and
Yeah.
one dribble pull ups. So just understanding the game, understanding spots, and understanding how to get to those spots. Like if you bring it down to like that, it's really not that hard.
Yeah, and I feel like in terms of like the cones and equipment, like you using real people, I don't know who said this, but I heard a trainer say like when I do trainings, like I use real people because when you're in a game, you're not going up against cones or a garbage
Exactly.
and you're going
Yeah.
up against a real person. That's why I mean, if you got people there, like you got to use the people because that's like when you're training someone, you want to make sure it's the most like as accurate to real life or game time as possible.
And,
So
and
that's probably like why.
and like you said before, like in order for like it to translate.
We have to go then. Huh?
No, go.
You have an appointment.
All right, so we're going with it.
Can you make the end of it? Get to
No.
the end? Huh?
No.
Now this is not ESPN. This is not ESPN.
It's all good. It's all good. We
Yeah,
just
wait, are
figure
you,
it out.
are you on your phone or computer?
Huh?
Are you on
I'm
your
on
phone?
my phone.
Okay, I mean, worst case, like unless the service gets bad, I mean, you could always take it on your phone. It's not like
We,
a
we can go like 10 more minutes though. Come on.
yeah. All right, I'll just hit you with them. So
hmm
in terms of your recruitment, can you talk about how that's been going?
Um, It's been great. I've been, like you said, like we talked about before, like I've been recruited from all different types of schools, and I've been blessed to be recruited by all different types of schools, high academic schools, mid majors, high majors, and it's been a blessing to know that all the hard work I've been putting in is paying off. So,
And which schools would you maybe say are recruiting you the hardest right now?
um, all the schools that have offered me have all been recruiting me pretty hard. Some other schools that are have just shown a lot of interest, like Arizona, Stanford, UNC, like different schools like that, who have been recruiting me for a while now.
And your offers, they're from all around the country. We kind of talk about this
Mhm.
like, off camera a little bit because you just don't have offers from the West Coast, where you're located. Like, you have offers from West Coast, Midwest, East
Mhm.
Coast. You got offers everywhere. So how big is the location a factor in your decision? Yeah.
Um, it's not a factor at all to me. I know for my mom, she wants me to stay home,
Yeah.
so she'll have me go to like CSUN or something like that. But for me, it's not. I want to go wherever I have an opportunity where I can achieve my dreams and I can grow as a player and a person. And if that's like across the country or somewhere pro international, like that's what I'm gonna do. I need to think about what's best for me.
And going back to your season now, what are some of your goals for it?
Um, I want to win the grind session. Like I'm a very competitive person. I'd say when I play, I'm doing this to win. Like that's why I play. So whatever I have to do, whatever us as a team have to do, I want to win the grind session.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome. And I want to ask, just because like it's UNC, I love the colors. I
Uh
haven't
huh.
seen the campus in person, but it just looks like a nice campus. I mean, everything, even the football stuff too, looks
Oh
so much
yeah.
bigger than basketball. What was it like just going there and being on that campus?
It and I go to a place like that. It was different. They have an unbelievable campus, unbelievable coaching staff. Yeah, it's definitely like you can tell how much success they have by how much money they put into their facilities, and they had like a little museum right next to like the gym, so like it was crazy.
Yeah, I definitely. And like it's a museum. I'm assuming for like their basketball accomplishments and everything.
Yeah, basketball accomplishments. They have Michael Jordan's acceptance letter in there. They have certain like stuff from Vince Carter, like his old jersey and stuff like that. It's crazy.
Yeah, it sounds super cool. And you tag on your bio and everything. The Oakland Soldiers,
Hmm.
legendary program. Can you talk
Yeah,
about that?
yeah, that's family. Like I guess committed um, like last year, not last year, but the before AAU season started, and they've done so much for me. They've supported me so much, and they want me to play with their 17U next year, and yeah, that's like family, and I can't wait to really start playing with them because I want to help them as much as they helped me so far.
And you say committed, like, because I know a tons of people, they play, this EYBL team this year, then
Yeah,
this.
I don't. I hate using that word because I think like it's so like overused now. Like you have like middle schoolers committing to high schools. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
ridiculous. But yeah, but like we told them we were gonna play with them for the year, so I guess we committed to them for the year, and
Okay.
because
I thought
that.
that was like for life, like you're like, yeah, Owen Soldier is like the only team I've played for, like,
Oh no. It just we committed for them for the year, and we committed for them for this upcoming year to play with them, and we're gonna stick to our commitment.
and you mentioned like their family. You said they've done so much for you. Can we talk about that a little bit more?
Yeah. So we went to like a. They had like a little training camp up in NorCal, which is pretty much all we've done with them. And I played really well, and they reached out to a bunch of colleges who reached out to me, and they really helped me out. They really helped me out in terms of my recruitment, and they flew up to the grind session. They came and watched me, also watch some other guys, and they've just been really supportive and helped me out.
And you mentioned other guys. Are these other guys that are also committed to your team, or are there maybe some guys that you're maybe trying to recruit to play with the Oakland Soldiers with you?
Yeah, so my teammate at my old high school, Dusty Stromer, I think he's a sophomore this year. He's got a bunch of offers, and we were trying to get him to commit, and he committed there, and that was big because that's like he's a really close friend of mine, and now we're playing in the same AAU program, so that was big for us.
Yeah, it's definitely awesome. And just got a couple more questions. Where do you see yourself by the end of your high school career?
My goal, and I've discussed this with a lot of different people, like my dad and my trainer, is I want to just work on development, get as good as I can, as close to a pro level as I can by the end of the high school career. Like my goal is to be a pro basketball player at the highest level, and that's the goal. Like I just want to work till I can get that goal, till I get good enough.
Yeah, for sure. And what do you want your legacy to be like in terms of when basketball's over and all that stuff?
I think we talked about this a little before because we're talking about like we're both Jewish.
Yeah.
I kind of like I'm in a lot of really difficult academic classes. Jewish, and I kind of want to like reframe like how this like I want to show that I can become a pro athlete while also being in really difficult classes and being the best academically and also being the best athletically. And that was a big thing, like trying to just show that like you don't have to like just drop school in order to be the best athlete. Like you can do both if you really put your mind to it.
Yeah, I also think like I'm not gonna say drop school, but I would feel like if I was maybe unless like I obviously don't know what it's like being a grind session athlete, but there's no way I think I can like school, bro. School's so tough. Like this, like
it's like I'm in AP classes. Like,
yeah.
I had a game in the grind session, like that game I told you about. Where I didn't play as good. Like I had a test in the morning. I had an AP bio test an hour before the game, and then I had to go warm up. Like I was so mentally exhausted.
Yeah, that like I couldn't handle it. Yeah, because at least for me, like I got to study hard. Like I got to put a lot of time to do well. Yeah, there's no way I could probably do that. Like of course it's possible, but I think personally, if you want to be a good athlete, you want to be a good basketball or want to be a good athlete and like good academics, and like you have potential being an athlete, I would say balance your schedule. Don't like pile it on because people that have hard schedules, they don't really have like they don't have a life. They don't really do.
Yeah,
much
it's tough, but I've been blessed. I'd say like I don't want to brag, but like I'm pretty smart, I'd say, and I have a lot of help. So I've been able to like balance it, and I've been able to like have a social life and have like another life other than basketball and school, and like it's just gonna help me grow as a person. It's gonna help me become a better person when I'm older. So I think it's gonna work out.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be pretty crazy for sure. Anyways, before we end the interview, is there anything you want to plug or anybody you want to shout out?
I want to shout out my trainer, at Dashletics on Instagram. I want to plug. I want to shout out SCA Academy, of course, but like my trainer for sure. He sacrificed a lot for me, and he's like family to me now. And I really want to see him succeed, and I think he's one of the best trainers in the country. So, yeah.
That's awesome. I also want to make sure your last name it's Shtolzberg, right?
Yeah, Shtolzberg.
Shtolzberg.
Yeah, it's all good. I've been heard it saying it every different type of way. So.
It's because like I'm the PA announcer for my school's basketball team, so I always gotta make sure I say everyone's name right. So that's why. All right. Well, make sure you guys give us a follow on Instagram at Ben Shtolzberg. Hopefully I said it somewhat right. I'm iHoopsFL. Anyways, for 6'4", 2022, Southern California Academy point guard Ben Shtolzberg. I'm Isaac Fleischer, and this has been another iHoopsFL interview. Peace out, guys.